My heart is heavy today. So I own Rev 1211 Publishing House, and part of my job is being on social media, finding, opportunities to make videos, to comment on things, to voice my opinion, and to offer value in regards to publishing tips. It takes me time because I have to scroll through social media until I find something that is interesting enough. As you can imagine, I'm seeing a ton of videos flipping. So just, this past week, there's been a lot of stuff. All this Epstein news has been out there. And my heart is heavy because there's way too many posts that are talking about the stuff that they've discovered in the Epstein files that are just demonic. But the first thing I want to say is, if you've been seeing this stuff and you're on the fence regarding, is God real or not? I think it's pretty clear that there's, some stuff going on. One of the things that got me onto, following God was actually the fact of how much evil there is in the world. If there's that much evil, there just can't be nothing that's good. You know what I'm saying? We're diving in Deuteronomy. That's what we're going after. Deuteronomy 18:10. So I want to talk about this a bit because you guys think that this is all new, that these people are just crazy and that this stuff is coming out. But this has been happening for thousands of years. And it's demonic. It's a demonic ritual. That's what it is. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about God. There shall not be found among you anyone who makes his son or his daughter pass through the fire, or one who practices witchcraft, or a soothsayer, or one who interprets omens, or a sorcerer. Thousands of years ago. You guys think that this just started happening? You guys think Epstein's the first guy to start doing this stuff? No. Got into the news. I'll tell you why. Because God is big. This stuff's getting in the open now. So what do we do about it? There's a line in Revelation 12:11, and I'm going to tell you what it says. He overcame them by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. That means testimony has power. Why? You have to question this. Why does testimony have power? The first thing, when testimony gets spoken into the world, people who don't believe in God start to question if there is a God, okay? Devil hates that. Makes him weaker, right? It's possible recruitment for the God side. And two, for people who do believe in God. Okay, you ready for this, guys? Number two, for people who believe in God, it increases their faith. The devil doesn't like that. This is one of the ways the devil loses, but testimony is huge. So that's why I'm calling you out right now. Anybody who has a testimony showing God's greatness and what he's done in your life, I'm challenging you because we have an obligation as Christians who've experienced the power of God to speak up and to share that testimony. All this extremely dark stuff that is just getting worse and worse. And we're just sitting there wondering what we're going to eat for dinner. Another two things. Number one, the devil loses. It's in this book called the Bible. He loses. Number two, no matter who you are, if you're a human being, the devil hates you. Doesn't matter who you are, the devil hates you and will use you if he can. It's like in those movies. Don't you see it where, there's two people, they're going to rob something. It gets to the final scene. They're at the big, $50 million in cash. They're loading it up. And then right before they leave the room, one guy smokes the other guy and takes all the money for himself. The devil's no different. He's going to use you until he doesn't need you. And then you're just eternally done. Too many people think that this is a joke until they realize it's not. And then it's too late by that point. My first testimony that told me that there is a God was when I got healed from something that no doctor could figure out what was wrong. No help whatsoever from the world. For at least 10 years, I suffered with it. I went to this church meetup in this basement. I didn't follow God at the time. I knew nothing about it. Took me into this basement. And then these women told me to come up to the altar, kneel down. They told me to pray to God for healing. And there must have been 6 people They put their hands on me, started speaking in weird words that made no sense, sounded like they were just making noises. And all of a sudden, I remember it was like, I started sweating like crazy. I felt like I wasn't in my body anymore. Everything was just like, shivering. Like it was really super weird. Maybe it went on for a few minutes and then all of a sudden they all just stayed quiet. There was nothing left. And then they told me to get up and they looked at me and said, "What makes your stomach hurt the most?" And I was like, I think at the time, I said, "Well, when I have ice cream, I have to take a week off of work because my insides just like, they're getting destroyed, right?" She said, "Okay, go home and eat ice cream." And I just looked at her like, "Are you crazy? I just told you I'm going to be in so much pain." She said, "Go home and eat ice cream." And like, I remember that faith in her eyes that like, "Bro, you're healed. You're good now. We just prayed for you. We asked God to heal you and you are healed." That's biblical. And I went home, had ice cream, and I've never had a problem. My stomach was amazing. Testimony. Whoever heard this right now, if you don't believe in God, I hope that made you curious. If you do believe in God, I hope that you're just behind the screen right now being like, "Yeah, that's my God. That's my God." He overcame them by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. Your testimony has power. This is one of the reasons why I created my publishing company, Rev 1211 Publishing House. Called it after Revelation 12:11. And we are a publishing company that publishes and promotes books that glorify God, specifically testimonial-based books. Almost every Christian that I know has a wild testimony, okay? And it's my belief, and this is why I started the company, that every single one of those people should have a book, an actual book about their testimony and the things that they learned during that time. So I wanted to make it easy for you to write it. That is where I created, it's a custom GPT. It is like a ghostwriter. If you haven't heard of what a ghostwriter is, it's a very standard thing in the publishing world. It's somebody who listens to all your ideas, gets a lot of details down, and then helps you turn that into a book. They know how to craft things, right? So what I did though is I'm using a custom GPT that I created where it will ask you specific questions and then it will dive deeper into those questions and start asking you more questions all around that to try and figure out exactly what happened in your life, past, present, what your testimony is like and what you learned from it as well. I really believe that every single Christian who has a testimony needs to share their testimony, and the best way to share it is in a book that will exist forever and that we could flood the internet with. Imagine on Amazon, in the new and noteworthy section, there's always testimonials popping up from Christian authors. It can't get ignored for that long before people start saying, "Hey, this is pretty wild. Let me look into this." So this is my mission. If you want to join me on this mission, you can go to my website, which is going to be around this page somewhere. Just click the link or a button or whatever. If not, go to rev1211publishing.com. You can go there, sign up, do an application, and we can get you started with our free ghostwriter so that you can write your testimony literally in a day. Take a weekend if you really want to take your time with it. Or you can just go to rev1211publishing.com/write-my-testimony. Try it out. Try it out. Are you going to keep that testimony secret or are you going to speak up? Because I'll tell you, there's a lot of people that need to hear you, but there's someone that doesn't want to hear you, and that's the devil. So who are you going to listen to? The devil does not want you to release your testimony into the world. Are you going to make him happy by not releasing it? Or are you going to release it? That I leave to you. I'm here to help with the process, but you have to make the decision.